Hey everyone, this is Borvak. Going to cover Batman number 42. Uh, just hunted by the Justice League. And we've got Batman running away from a bunch of the Justice Leaguers, Glowing Green Eyes, and Poison Ivy in the background. I don't know what that is. What's the word for what she's doing? I don't know. She's just off in the background, kind of looming. That's what she's doing. She's looming. Um, 42. This is also the answer to life, the universe, and everything. We'll find out what that means. But I actually picked this book up thinking I wanted to pick up the new reboot of the Justice League, and it was all sold out. And I saw this, and I was like, oh, here's a Justice League book. It's a Justice League versus the Batman. And I turned in, I was like, wait, Tom King is writing a Justice League book? And I actually bought this book thinking it was a Justice League book, and I took it home. I guess it's an older Batman book where it's multiple issues behind, and but yeah, I picked this up thinking it was a Batman book. Or I picked it up thinking it was a Justice League book, and it's very much not. It's a Batman book. So it is Tom King. I haven't been reading his stuff recently. He has a very particular style. Some people like it, some people don't like it. But we turn in very good art. Got a nice picture establishing shot of Wayne Manor, and Superman is also looming over. We've got a very pretty looking Selina Kyle and Bruce Wayne. Very muscular, nice chest there. Sitting watching TV. The news report is about how everything is peaceful, everyone's loving, everyone loves nature. And Batman and Catwoman are doing this Tom King-esque back and forth where Catwoman says, "Isn't it sweet that she lets us out? Isn't it sweet that she lets us out?" And Superman hears that. So apparently they're kind of under house arrest. We're already figuring this out. She's under Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle are on Batman and Catwoman are under house arrest by Poison Ivy controlling everyone basically. This is a nice shot too. I don't know if this is digital art. I'm not a big expert on that like some other YouTubers are. But I like that. It's really nice. Look off into the distance, see the street and the street lamps shrinking and shrinking, and that's so cool as you go further back. But they're Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle. They were dressed in their civvies in Bruce Wayne's manor, but then they actually dress up in their actual costumes to go out and get a burger. Batman's eating a Bat Burger at the Bat Burger restaurant, so they're actually going in costume. That's interesting. There's this weird thing going on. I'll mention this when I cover the Hush versus Nightwing book. But there's this weird thing where apparently Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle are not getting married, but Batman and Catwoman are. That's really weird. So maybe that's why they're dressing up. I don't know. I don't know what I think about that. But anyway, they're obviously baiting. They're baiting Poison Ivy. Sorry, they're baiting Poison Ivy here by going out to eat. And Batman says, "Hey, lean in close, Selina. I gotta whisper some sweet nothings in your ear." Superman, who's under her control, leans in to listen with his superhero, and Batman does a really loud whistle, which Superman wasn't expecting, and throws him out of the sky. And again, Batman and Selina Kyle are just doing this very Tom King dualistic back and forth ping pong poetic verb and reverb call and answer sort of talking. Everything in a Tom King book is like that. It's very 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 poetic in a free verse sort of back and forth. I don't know what you would call this, but there's just just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth between the two of them. And the Justice League comes after him. The Flashes. Catwoman handily handles footily. She's kicking them. Handily and footily handles the two Flashes. Three Flashes. Barry Allen, Wally West. Wow. more footily than handily. 2 kicks and a punch. Can Catwoman really take out 2 Flashes that quickly? Well, maybe. Maybe when they're not controlling themselves, when they're under control of Poison Ivy, she might not have complete control over them, especially when she's controlling everyone else too. So they show up at the suburban house, and I guess I gotta show this here. There's an old lady waiting for them, and she talks to Batman, and she says, "I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to help you guys," which, whatever. She hangs them from a building, so I guess that's nice. And Batman is goading. Batman is goading Poison Ivy, and he's basically explaining that apparently Poison Ivy took over the world by feeding. Everyone says, nobody says vegetables, nobody says plants. Let's see, plants dying. But everyone, greens. Everyone's calling it greens. Again, it's a Tom King book, so everyone has the same vocabulary and is using these very specific words to make a specific point. I don't mind Tom King's writing. It's very unique. It's very specific. I didn't drop the Batman book specifically because of his writing style. I ended up dropping it for another reason, but we can get into that later. Well, Batman's basically saying, so you took over the world to make the world a better place. You mind controlled everyone by making them eat quote unquote greens. And the greens you fed them allow you to control them, but your psychokinesis mind control is split among everyone, and you're trying to make the world a better place, save the economy, all that, probably some global warming nonsense that she probably believes in. Save the world by controlling everyone's minds. But Batman says there's a kid who can't eat greens again, and so I'm trying to find out where he is because you're probably force feeding him, and that's not good because that's gonna hurt him. So that's Batman's whole deal here, trying to save a kid. She doesn't like this idea. Again, Poison Ivy kind of screaming here, and I do like the duality here of Poison Ivy screaming, saying "shut up," and Superman also saying "shut up." She's speaking through him, and it's the same facial expression of indignation and fear, because that's not Superman. That's basically Harley Quinn inside of Superman's body. So I like that there. Batman is again goading her, and she gets Superman to punch him in the face, which basically would kill him. And then for some reason she regrets it. I don't know what this whole good quote unquote side of Poison Ivy is, where she now feels remorse for killing Batman, but apparently she does. You got a nice big picture, a nice grotesque full picture of Batman's bloody face after the punch. We have a little cat between Catwoman and what's this? Yeah, we have a little chat between Catwoman and Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy basically saying she's trying to do the right thing, which, whatever. And Bruce Wayne is waking up in the hospital, and he says, I should have guessed, it's because Bendis is coming, it's all his fault. But yeah, Harley Quinn is still talking to Catwoman. She's saying she can be redeemed. That's what Poison Ivy is saying that Poison Ivy is saying that herself, that Poison Ivy can be redeemed and no one can stop her. And Batman's waking up. He said he expected to see this. There's Harley Quinn there apparently nursing him, which I don't know. Would a Harley Quinn be the one to go to for traumatic face, Superman fist to your face, traumatic brain injury? I don't know. Harley Quinn's a psychologist. I don't know if she's... I don't know. But apparently this was all according to plan. As far as Bruce Wayne is concerned, and so you can pick up the next issue and see what happens. It kind of leaves as a cliffhanger, issue number 42. So yeah, if this interests you, go ahead and pick up issue number 43. I don't know. I don't really get the whole Poison Ivy thinks she's doing the right thing. She tends to be more of a misguided, extremely misguided. Who has it made the point that uh, Batman villains or just villains in general? I read this recently. They're always about the things that I think it must be the Justice League action cartoon. I don't know what it was, but the Batman, the villains in general, especially Batman villains, they're obsessed with something. Like Poison Ivy is obsessed with plants, but they're obsessed with something to the point that it drives them crazy. But their love for themselves or their desire for personal gain actually supersedes their love for whatever the thing is that they pretend to be obsessed with. So, uh, Poison Ivy shows herself, and she is psychotic, and she is obsessed with plants. But she doesn't really love plants. She loves herself. She uses plants. She doesn't really care. She doesn't like other people hurting plants, but she will use plants and hurt plants to her own means. Ra's al Ghul hates corruption and hates. I guess he's an environmentalist too, but because he hates corruption, he thrives in corruption. Um, I don't know. There are probably other examples too, but I don't really get this interpretation of I can't. Every time I try to say her name, Poison Ivy. Maybe I inhaled some spores and she's controlling me a little bit. But yeah, I picked this up thinking it was a Justice League book. It's not. It's a Tom King book. If you're already into his book, you'll probably like this too. But it's kind of an in-between issue. So don't be stupid like me. Don't pick this up thinking it's a Justice League book. It's not. But it is what it is. As a part of a bigger story arc, I'm sure it's fine. But there's not really a whole lot happening in this book in particular. So. I don't know. I won't give it a solid recommend, but you know, you saw the video, you saw the review. You'll know for yourself whether this is for you or not. But if you have any thoughts, let me know what you think. Feel free to make fun of me for thinking this was a Justice League book when I picked it up, all the way from the rack to the checkout. Let me know what you think. Feel free to give the video a like. A pity like is fine too, if you want to give me a pity like for my stupidity. And if for some reason you enjoy my stupidity, feel free to subscribe and check out some of my other videos. They'll show up in your feed as they come out if you are subscribed. Whether or not you are, I look forward, hopefully, to seeing you guys in another video. Thanks a lot. Bye.